I've got 10 game-changing cleaning habits that people who have crazy spotless homes do, and most of us don't even realize are important. Some of them are weird, slightly neurotic. Stay to the end because I've got one that's full Mommy Dearest. Do you ever walk into somebody's home and think, how? Like, how is their house so clean? Why does it look and smell so much cleaner than mine, even after you just cleaned your house? There are tiny, subtle things that the uber clean do that you might not think about, starting with a new perspective. Penny's coming with me for this one because this is what it's all about. It's looking at your home either really low or really high. From Penny's perspective, I see dirt that I normally wouldn't otherwise see. The bottom of your kick plate in your kitchen, super gross, but also around the legs of your furniture is where dust and hair collect. And when you walk by, it's like stirring it up. So that's why when you're like, I just vacuumed, why is there gross hair everywhere? It's probably because you're not getting low, crawling around like a dog and finding all that hidden goo. Oh, that is definitely spaghetti sauce splattered down low. High five. High five, Penny. Shake the paw. Yeah, we got that. High five again. Yeah. Double high fives. Double. No? Okay. It's also important to look up high on the top of your fridge, on the top of bookshelves. Dust collects here and it can be blown all around. So try looking at your house from a new perspective. I am discovering things I never saw before. Like, I didn't even know this vent existed. Joe, did you know we had a kitchen vent? Oh, it's so bad, Pen. You see this every day down here? You see this? What is that? Oh, it's your bone. Cereal. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. It's really old. Oh, crackers. Yummy. Get low, friends. Get low. Get low, friends. See what you find from your dog's perspective. I know. It's disgusting. I play this really fun game, it's not really fun, called Find the Fingerprints. I actually give everyone in my house a bowl of soapy water and a rag, and we go around and look for places that always have gross, oily fingerprints, like doorknobs, light switches. All the way up the stairs, people put their hand on the wall, so covered in fingerprints. The wall outside of the fridge or the pantry, because people will decide what to eat while leaning against the wall. You're gonna find a handprint. Right where people stand when they're putting on their shoes or coat because they lean on the wall, and you're gonna find big old fingerprints right there. The knobs on your stove, full of fingerprints. The buttons on your microwave, the buttons on your coffee maker, just give all buttons a quick wipe. Remote controls get super grimy with fingerprints. Gaming controllers, gotta wipe them. Definitely keyboards, but also laptops, and for some reason screens. It's not a touch screen. Why are we touching it? Why are we touching the TV? I don't know. Wipe the fingerprints off that. TVs aren't touch screens. Stop touching them. The little plastic knobby things that open and close your blinds, they're gross. Finding the fingerprints is a game that I don't actually have to do that often anymore, but if you have little kids, I know you know what I mean. Everything is covered in sticky food or greasy, slimy, dirty fingerprints. You don't have to clean the whole house to get that really fresh, clean feeling. Just hunt for the fingerprints. Takes two to tango, except with Touch Up Tango, it's just one person because Joe thinks this is the most insane thing I do. But I have friends who also do this every single month, so I know I'm not alone. And that is touch up your paint. I walk around with a can of paint just like this once a month and I touch things up. I will literally just touch up the doors and trim. I started doing this in my most neurotic time, but then it became oh, this is fast and it makes a difference. Look at this door. Especially if you have teens, they get banged and dinged really easily and it makes your whole space feel dirty no matter how much you clean. So literally take a can of paint and just touch this up. When it's wall paint, it's hard sometimes to totally match, but trim and door paint, man, it's all the same. Just give it a little tango, a little touch up tango. I know this seems insane. I know it seems insane, but I will never stop doing this because it makes the entire room feel cleaner. You gotta try this one. I forgot to mention a very important part. When I do this every single month, I just text my whole family and I'll say like, don't touch anything white if it's like white touch-up paint. I've also been known to touch up the stairs and then I text everyone, don't touch anything black. And I'll put cups all over the stairs to make some weird obstacle course so they don't step in the wet paint. I do this so often my family knows. They just know what that code means. Don't touch anything white means everything potentially could be wet paint. A habit called a deep drawer dive is something that really tidy homes and clean homes do all the time. We've talked about this. It's basically just decluttering, like scheduling 15 minutes, maybe once a week, pick one random area and go through and just literally deep dive it. So throw out things you're not using. If there's things that don't belong, put them where they do belong. I guess it's kind of tidying, decluttering, organizing all in one, but you'd be surprised like how normal homes that aren't crazy spotless, they're not doing this on a regular basis. And I think like out of all of the things I'm talking about, this is the least weird, but also probably the most important thing that you can do. I'm not like some crazy person who spends a lot of time wiping doors, though this house has a monster amount of doors. I'm gonna say like maybe 5 minutes once a month. I'll just take a cleaner and a rag and I'll only focus on doors. It makes a difference. Besides your bathroom doors, your kitchen cabinet doors are like crazy neglected. Anytime I do a kitchen makeover for someone, I always, like before they come and see the after, take 10 minutes and wash the front of all the cabinet doors because they'll like, oh, my kitchen feels so bright and clean. But all I did was wipe the cabinet doors. Your door on your dishwasher probably has splattered food on it. I know mine always does, but this is such a neglected spot that people forget to wipe. Also, your fridge door, especially the handles, oh, so neglected, but man, it makes a difference when this is shiny and sparkly. Your whole kitchen could be tidy, but if this is covered in food, your kitchen will feel gross. Outside doors, especially like the ones you go in and out all the time, are probably the worst offenders. Fingerprints and scuffs and everything else. Your first impression is your door, so give it a wipe. Window dance. I was trying something. Basically, it's like cleaning the air, a total refresh. So once a month, even if it's like the dead of winter or it's hot as balls outside, I will open every window and just let the breeze blow. The air, it's refreshing, it's blowing. It's basically, it's just replacing the indoor air, which is filled with cooking smells and farts and bad breath, with fresh outdoor air. It makes a huge difference. So spend like 10 minutes, open up all the windows, do a funk refresh, and then close them all up again. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Give it to me. Okay! And while I'm at it, Febreze. I've talked about this before because the smell in your home, it impacts how you feel about its cleanliness. And soft things absorb stink like nobody's business. Your couch, your carpet, your curtains, every throw pillow, every cooking, every fart, every dog stink is absorbed into soft fabrics. And the only way to really eliminate that is to either wash it. I ain't throwing the sofa in a washing machine. Febreze it. You can go with an unscented Febreze. It actually doesn't cover up the smell with a scent. It eliminates the odor. This isn't some weird Febreze commercial. This actually works. There's like sciencey reasons why it eliminates odor. And when my house smells fresh and clean, when I'm not bombarded by all the skanky stink, everything just feels and even looks cleaner. It's some psychological thing, but seriously, kick the stink to the curb. Kick something catchy. Flush the farts. No. Eliminate smells from your soft surfaces. Cleaning your cleaners. I never used to clean my cleaners because who wants to be a vacuum cleaner? But then I learned when I went through my like crazy clean freak phase that this is so important. Now when I go to people's homes to do makeovers, I always do like a quick vacuum. Every time, without fail, I clean the vacuum cleaner because there's no suction. When is the last time you not only emptied your vacuum, but like cleaned the filter and washed it all down? And for the love of Peter, wash your mop. Wash your mop. I used to work at a restaurant and we would like mop the kitchen, then mop the bathrooms, then go back and mop the kitchen the next day. Never washing the mop. Wash your mop. Clean all your cleaners. Clean your dishwasher. Don't forget the seal. Clean your sponges. I'm disgusting. Clean your washing machine, especially the seal. Clean your faucets. So gross. So definitely take a few minutes to clean your cleaners today. It's just gonna make your whole house sparkle. This one's a little odd. Please don't judge me. I do like to play pretend, and I feel like during my monthly reset, so one Sunday a month, I like to reset the home, and I pretend like it's an Airbnb and I'm a host, or sometimes a camera crew is coming in to take photos for a magazine. Like I try to look at my home from a visitor's perspective. So I'm looking for clutter that I wouldn't normally see, or dirt that perhaps is invisible because I see it all the time. I walk around my house with like this really detective critical eye and reset everything, not to like perfect, but so it feels like an Airbnb. I don't know why, but I find this is a really helpful approach to just make my whole house feel cleaner. I've definitely saved the weirdest, but I think it's the best for last. But before I describe the splash zone to you, I have to tell you a story. Years ago, I had an elderly cat that started peeing in the house, but I couldn't find it. I could only smell it. And I saw online that if you blacklight and turn off all the lights, that urine glows. And so I tried it and I totally could see all the spots that the cat was peeing in the house using a blacklight flashlight, which then made me do something that I do not regret, but I also don't recommend, or do I? I shut off the lights and I went in my bathroom and I blacklit my bathroom. And friends, the urine glowed all around the toilet. I'm calling it the splash zone, the wee wipe zone. This is pee-pocalypse prevention. It's the golden circle shower. Basically, men can't aim. I don't know if they're just fire hosing, but there will be urine on the wall, on the bottom of the toilet, behind the toilet, on the wall behind the toilet, and you can even see the backflow flush behind the toilet on the wall if you're flushing without the toilet lid down. That is a thing. It is not just a myth, and if you had a black light, you could see it. So while I don't still blacklight my bathroom because like that's a little bit extra, it taught me how to properly clean a bathroom so that it doesn't smell like urine, because you can't see the pee on the wall and up the back and all over the place, but you can if you use a blacklight. So now when I clean, I do the whole splash zone. And honestly, this is a tip you gotta try. On my journey from super slob to someone who has a clean house, I did make a little detour, like a pit stop to Clean Freak Town. I think it was an overcorrection. I was just so excited about finally having a clean house. I cleaned too much. I did way too much, but I learned some things. Those neurotic little tendencies, there are a few of those things that I'm sharing with you here that while it seems weird, they make a big difference, and they don't take that long, but it's the difference between having like a spotless, fresh smelling home and one that just always feels kind of dingy and you don't know why. It's these things. Let me know in the comments if you have other little kind of weird things that you clean that normal people may not even know was a thing, but that you recommend. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure next week you check out my new podcast episode. It is so good with HGTV star Carrie sharing amazing design tips. You'll find that on my YouTube channel over at Clutterbug Podcast, or you can listen to it wherever you listen to podcast episodes. Thank you guys so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. So I shared my weird neurotic blacklighting thing that I used to do, but I feel like I have a lot of weird neurotic tendencies, so I wanted to share some of my favorites. Number one, I will not share a drink with anyone, including my husband, or take a bite of food or eat something off of someone else's plate. And if someone eats something off my plate, I can no longer eat that. Even though I kiss the man, I feel like I'm kind of a germaphobe. That's okay, but like sharing a pop, not okay. Also, I don't like food on a plate touching different categories of food, and I like to start with one thing before I eat the next, you know? It's like meat and then potatoes and then the vegetable, but we don't mix the order. I can't eat meat with bones in it. I can't eat the flesh of any animal I haven't eaten before. Like if I've eaten you, that's fine, but if you're a new animal, no rabbit, no turtles, no frog legs, no things I haven't eaten before. I feel like that's pretty normal. I cannot drink anything with chunks in it. Once I had coconut water that for some reason had like chunks of coconut, even the thought, orange juice with pulp, anything like that, bubble tea, totally fine. I don't know why, but anything else like with chunks in it, hard no. I can't eat a chip or a cracker if it's broken, you know? I can't. I'll pick out all the whole chips and leave the rest for Joe. Also, will not eat the end of a loaf of bread, won't eat the butt of a bread. Every time I walk into a public bathroom, I immediately gag. I touch everything with my sleeve or paper towel, and I will only flush with my foot. I know I'm not alone. Also, I would rather die than use a porta potty. Rather die. In a hotel, it could be nice. It could be the nicest hotel I've ever seen. I will not sit on the bedspread. They do not wash the bedspreads. Also, if there's like a sofa or a chair in the room, no. People have done nasty things on the furniture. I'm just like, touch nothing. I have this weird neurotic thing with mirrors where my whole bathroom could be like a total disaster mess, but if there's one smudge on the mirror, my eye twitches and I must immediately clean it. That is Does the toilet paper always have to hang the right way? I'm not about that, but I cannot walk past a couch without fluffing a pillow. I just can't. And I see you, quirky queens, if you know what I'm talking about. That pillow must be fluffed. And lastly, I love fishing so much, but I will not touch a fish. I will not touch a worm. And even though I love like snorkeling in the ocean, being surrounded by fish, I will never swim in a lake. If you can't see through the water, it's the stuff of nightmares. I know Jaws is not in a lake, but he might be. So never. Let me know if you also have like weird tendencies, or if there's any of these that you related to, or there's new ones that you want to share. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Beep. Come here. Hey, look what I found down at your level. Look at that. Penny. Do you see it? Do you see it? Pen. This is important work we're doing. Penny. Penny! Come here, look. Psst. Spaghetti sauce. 12 o'clock. Get your butt, Penny. Spaghetti sauce, Penny! Quick, high five. Yeah. So cute. Beep. Cleaning expert. No, I'm gonna be moving on. We're moving on. You want that bone? No. Beep. I found something cool besides just hair and dust. Beep. ADHD side quest. Can we just pretend I did it? I'm just gonna do the scoopa doops. I found this paper under there. Let me see. Moving on, Penny.